I'm Dennis Moore, reporting for Reuters with breaking news. It isn't obvious on a street in midday in downtown Washington, but Americans are retrenching, sticking closer to their homes instead of traveling the wider world. In times of economic stress, countries are inclined to do the same sort of thing. Bob Davis says space is for investors with a long view. Another space exec put it more bluntly: no bucks, no Buck Rogers. Dennis Moore, Nightly Business Report, Washington. In poll after poll, most voters say they think their own economic future will be pretty good. But they say the country as a whole is on the wrong track. What's the contradiction? Well, it could be that while many Americans have changed their own spending and saving habits, changed their own expectations, they don't think the federal government has, and they fear it may no longer be a partner in passing on their current prosperity to future generations. It is a new economy, and it requires a new kind of monetary policy, Greenspan finally said today. But the professor hasn't entirely convinced the classes, either in Washington or in Wall Street. Dennis Moore, Nightly Business Report, Washington. I'm Dennis Moore, reporting for Reuters with breaking news. Alan Greenspan strikes again. The Federal Reserve has cut the overnight Fed funds rate half a percentage point to 6%. The U.S. markets shot up on the news, 3% on the Dow, 11% on the NASDAQ. Bonds rallied as well. I'm Dennis Moore, reporting for Reuters with breaking news. Angels are likely not the first image to pop into your mind at the mention of Victoria's Secret. But there they were in the air and on the catwalk at the holiday fashion show. I'm Dennis Moore for Reuters. Is your mouth watering already just looking at this stuff? If it isn't, your brain probably is. Not only do people start salivating at the sight of food they find attractive, some scientists have now discovered that their brains light up too. Henry Luce and the Warner Brothers rolling in their graves at the changes. But if they were operating in this kind of media environment, it's just as easy to imagine them voting their shares for just this kind of deal. Dennis Moore, Nightly Business Report, Washington. Al Gore's name is on the walls and on the waitresses' t-shirts at the City Cafe in Carthage, Tennessee. And there are people in Gore's hometown who confess, if hesitantly, to a feeling that he was just about born to be president. Albert Gore Sr. represented Tennessee in the House and Senate for 30 years. Politics was the family business, and Gore Sr. always wanted his son to sit in the Oval Office. What bothers many voters about Gore is an impression that he feels the way they do back in Carthage, that he's just about born for the presidency. From Gore's pleas of ignorance about fundraising at a Buddhist temple to exaggerations about starting the internet or helicoptering to the aid of disaster victims, doing whatever it takes doesn't always appear to mean sticking to the truth. Gore apologized in the second debate. The presidency is more than a popularity contest, he says. If it were, George W. Bush ought to have a substantial lead by now. People who meet him tend to like Bush, even those who don't think he's up to the job of being president. But to the degree that the presidency is about policy, Al Gore ought to have a clear lead by now. There's a joke going around. Which would you rather have? Al Gore coming into your living room for the next 4 years, or George Bush sitting in the Oval Office? Oversimplified, yes, but dead on about why just being Al Gore has prevented him from closing the deal with so many voters. I'm Dennis Moore, reporting for Reuters.